On this episode, we smoke the Puck box-pressed Cuban sandwich from Alec Bradley. This $4 smoke is budget-friendly, and we're about to find out how it smokes. I'm your host, Johnny Midas, and you're listening to Burnline Podcast. Burnline Podcast. The burn line on a well-crafted cigar is straight and sharp as a razor, much like our wit and wisdom. And what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages over the age of 21. You are listening to Burnline Podcast, brought to you, as always, not live from the Hot Box, the smoky back room where deals are struck and fortunes are made, adjacent to the Blanco Cigar Lounge, nestled amongst the complex of rooms that comprise Union Cigar, Hanover, Pennsylvania, the USA. I am your host, Johnny Midas.
And I am Angel El Fumo Solario.
Real quick on the draw there this morning.
Yeah. You're switching it up on me.
What?
I said you switching it up on me.
What?
Threw me off a little bit. So.
What?
Oh, am I not on over here?
What? We are drinking our 2C Premium and undisclosed blend. Let me just flip that over so no one can see it. Yeah.
Hey, it's cold again.
I need some fucking coffee this morning.
Yeah.
All right, let's get smoking. We are smoking the Puck by Alec Bradley, and we kind of, argued about doing another Alec Bradley cigar because we just did the Hooligan.
Yeah.
But this is a great budget stick. This retails for $4 here at Union Cigar, Hanover, Pennsylvania. So if you're looking for a stick that you can smoke every day, I mean, if you can afford a Starbucks, you can afford this, right?
That's right.
So we decided to go ahead with this review, and a couple of things, we want to talk about the presentation first, and probably the biggest thing that you can't see is it's a Cuban sandwich, and that's what keeps the cost low. So, if you don't know what a Cuban sandwich is, it is a cigar where the filler is not long leaf. It's basically the scraps and leftovers from other cigars. And probably because of that, Alec Bradley does not advertise what the filler and binder are. They just say Habano. Right? Yep. Now, the wrapper is Honduran Habano. And it's pretty fucking gorgeous, actually. That is a good looking wrapper.
Yeah.
Sort of a matte, oily Maduro. I really like the band on this, the Puck band, and of course it matches the box. I think this is a really good job for a cheap everyday smoke.
Yeah, it looks great. It doesn't look like a budget cigar.
It really does.
The presentation shows. It looks like, if I were to look at this at the shelf and not know what it was, I would say this is an $8 to $9 stick.
Yeah, definitely. The box, of course, is very inexpensive. It's your typical, flip top cardboard box with your ugly ass Surgeon General warning sticker on it.
Right, because their Surgeon General's pretty healthy as is.
Yeah, but it's decent looking.
Yeah,
it's not bad looking presentation.
No, it's very Vegas.
It is kind of Vegas, yeah. It looks like
looks like something.
It does. Yeah, it looks like a Johnny Midas cigar.
Right.
It's just underpriced by about $40. But other than that,
I bet you could sell this stick for $20 to somebody who doesn't know jack shit in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want some money or want to feel big in Vegas? Here you go, $20.
You want some of this special stuff?
Right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. So again, this is the Alec Bradley Puck Robusto. This is a box-pressed Cuban sandwich, very soft box press. Yeah. Reminds me of like a Perdomo, not a super crisp one like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The wrapper is Honduran Habano, and the binder and filler are undisclosed, but they do say they're Habano leaves. And the retail here at Union Cigar Hanover is $4, so super affordable stick. And let's get these cut and lit so that we can get into some of this other good stuff we've got going on.
All right.
I am going to cut mine with my Freestyle Live closed-ended double guillotine cutter. And what are you clipping with today?
Oh, my trusty Vertigo large ring gauge cutter, double guillotine.
Open-ended. All right. And the official cutting is brought to you by Fat Boys Cigars. Bold and delicious flavors of premium hand-selected tobaccos are highlighted in the original Jacked cigar by Fat Boys Cigars, and as well as the Jacked 2, both of which I have sampled and enjoyed. And don't forget to try the Fat Boy Cigar Boots on the Ground Series 1 and Series 2, now available at fatboycigars.com. For every cigar you purchase in this series, Fat Boy Cigars will donate $1 to charities benefiting our frontline heroes. Fat Boy Cigars, welcome to the Fat Boys world.
Real quick, are we recording?
Yeah.
Audio?
Yeah.
I don't see the numbers moving.
I know. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm the technical guy.
All right. And I was just like, wait, the numbers in my volume looks weird.
And any other
Nope, that's
technical
it. I don't know, man.
All right.
It is a weird morning.
And as always, we remind you to clip that cigar with authority. No limp-wristed cutting allowed. And I don't know if you saw, but I posted the full light sequence on YouTube yesterday. So
no, I should check.
Haven't seen it yet. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I just went through everything. I didn't include taking the cello off.
Okay.
I thought about that afterwards. I probably should have. But I did the clipping with authority, zoomed in on the clean cut that it provides and the toasted, not roasted, all that stuff. Tap that ash, which we're going to do right now. Don't lose the whole cigar. It is a Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
No, the bits and pieces aren't that small. No. It's not cigar dust.
Actually, it's pretty clean.
It's pretty clean. Yeah. And I'm going to do a cold draw real fast.
Tight.
I need to clip more off. That's interesting.
Ooh, that feels pretty good.
Spicy raisin.
Yeah. I like the draw on mine.
I got some spicy raisin.
We should have bought some actual Cuban sandwiches to eat while we smoke the Cuban sandwich.
Damn it, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, those things are awesome as shit.
And the official lighting is brought to you by 2C Premium Coffee, which we are enjoying right now. Keep your day fueled with delicious premium coffee from 2C Premium Coffee, featuring select beans from Bali, Kenya, Ethiopia, and around the world, including our super secret undisclosed coffee that we are sampling right now. 2C Premium utilizes continual roasting, so you are always getting a truly fresh cup of premium coffee. And you can taste the difference.
Oh, yeah.
We don't just pair up with anybody on the show because I'm a picky dick, and especially when it comes to coffee.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and cigars.
Yep. Dude, I'm telling you, this blend right here is awesome.
It is off the chain. All of their stuff, the light, oily flavor, and it goes so well with cigars. That's why
This is, like I said, this is the first coffee ever. Like we've had 6 blends so far, and all 6 I've drank straight black now.
Yeah.
Like it's some of the best coffee, because I normally add sugar because the coffee sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, this is good shit.
2C Premium Coffee. Morning made us. Head over to 2cpremium.com and check them out. I'm going to light up with my Johnny Midas single flame gold bar torch. And that's something special.
Yeah, I have a special edition. What would you call this? Teardrop looking shape?
I don't know. It looks kind of like a sex toy.
Okay. No, it's a DBO lighter. Francisco gave this to me a few years ago, and I was rummaging. You know how it goes. You throw all your accoutrement that you acquire over the years, and found it in a drawer while I was organizing and cleaning. I was like, holy shit. So it's a single flame.
Nice.
This thing's awesome. It's heavy too. It's not...
Substantial. And as always, we remind you, toasted, not roasted, as we demonstrated on our YouTube video. I pinned it too, so it's like the first one.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Now, you do have to be a little careful with a Cuban sandwich. It can burn much hotter depending on how the leaves are bunched at the end. Notice the long, slow draw, and I blew that first smoke back over the foot, particularly heating up the couple of darker spots. And now I have a nice even light. I'm going to draw on that, see if the camera can pick this up. Maybe not very well, but nice even light across it. Interesting.
Spicy. A little cedary. Something nutty there.
Yeah, okay, so here's how I'm going to describe this. If you took a cedar plank and you took caraway, fennel, and a pinch of cayenne pepper, and you put that on the board, and then you took a nondescript Dominican natural tobacco leaf, and you put that over the board, and then you took a steam iron and you just ironed that leaf and ironed that leaf and ironed that leaf. Then you took the leaf, and that steam sort of like infuses it with those few components, just a little bit. That's kind of what I'm tasting. I think for the average cigar smoker, like what's really strong on the palate is the woody cedar. There's definitely a little spicy, and it's not like black pepper. It's more like cayenne, like right. Spicy.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. It's not like, oh shit, but it is there. The caraway is interesting, and the fennel as well is just a touch of
caraway.
Caraway?
Yeah.
Seeds? Caraway seeds?
Nope.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we will get a spice rack in here.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, like a spice sampler or something. Of course, I cook on the side.
Yeah.
So sometimes, my flavor descriptions aren't, what other people would pick right away. Like I can taste the difference between pink Himalayan salt, Irish gray salt, and like sea salt flakes.
Is it Himalayan all nice and gentle, and then the Irish one just yells at you?
Yeah, and gets drunk a lot.
Right.
Yeah. That's the difference. Anyway, so yeah, it's hard to explain if you haven't, like stuck your nose in a caraway jar.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard of it. Then again, a lot of my spice knowledge is in Spanish, oddly enough. So it's like I just got to figure out the translation. Then I'm like, oh, it's this,
Yeah, it's similar too, because like a lot of my Mexican friends, like they can distinguish between a serrano pepper and jalapeno.
Oh yeah,
and a chile and a poblano.
Oh yeah,
because they're different.
They're different, yeah.
But you talk to the average Pennsylvanian, it's like, oh, a hot pepper. No, that's a bell pepper.
No.
Make it spicy. Put ketchup on it.
Serranos are like the tomatoes of the spicy peppers.
Really? Because they're spicy to me.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yes and no. I'm just saying, like, as far as usefulness. Like,
oh, you can use them in everything.
Everything. They're like, I would call them the tomato equivalent.
Yeah, I like serranos, but they are spicy. It does have some interesting notes to it. It's not like I wouldn't throw this up against a lot of the cigars that we've smoked in the last 6 months. We have to remember this is a $4 price point cigar. But I was really expecting a much flatter flavor for a cigar at this price point.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
It's not, no. So that's a great place to start. Granted, the Cuban sandwich construction allows you to reduce your prices because you're kind of using throwaways, right? Using scraps.
And I think there might be an inconsistency in our sticks as well. So we might get a little bit different notes here and there.
I think that's probably going to be the case. I know that the sticks themselves are inconsistent.
The wrappers.
Yeah, the wrappers don't all match, as well as like the size in the box press.
Right.
Which is probably because box pressing non-long leaf filler is probably challenging to get consistent.
But so far, man, this Burnline, well, it was pretty good, but the ash is nice on it.
It's not bad. It's ashing okay. I've got an issue there with the wrapper.
Yeah.
You can see that.
I know, I'm going to have that issue further down the road right there.
Yeah, it looks like it. But again, $4.
It's a budget. Can't bitch about it.
So we got to contextualize, you know.
Hey, look, it's the...
That is it. The golden hand is smoking a golden puck.
I like the smoke output on this, though.
Smoke output is pretty good.
I like it. I dig it.
There it goes. There's a piece of my wrapper.
Yeah. What'd you get, a stem?
0.1. No, it's just...
a little bit of cap.
Yeah, cap's not sealed down super awesome. All right, well, guess what? We have got a care package from Fat Boys Cigars.
Let's go.
We're going to do an unboxing on the show. Big shout out to Fat Boys Cigars, not just for supporting the show, but just being awesome. Love the tape, and it has a crown and gold, so of course Johnny Midas loves it. And here we go. This is what is inside.
Bubble wrap for the listeners.
Yep, keeping it. Oh, look at this. Sweet. Got some keychains, or I'm going to put this on my Hereford. We have a blue and a black.
Watch your cigar. Watch your cigar.
Please enjoy our Candela. Woo! They've gotten great reviews. Be gentle with them. Enjoy the carry strap. So I get the black one. You get the blue one.
Sure.
Deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this on my Hereford. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And let's see what we got in the tissue. Look at that with the gold. It even matches their colors. It's so cool. Take a quick draw. Make sure my.
Yeah, I'd imagine this would probably go out pretty quick.
I don't know. Maybe it burns hotter. And look inside there. As usual, Fat Boys has got phenomenal packaging. You can see this is a Boveda Pack Ziploc with the Boveda Pack on the inside and 2 of the thin green line. I've been really looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. Hold that up for the camera. You got the dog tag around it. Absolutely gorgeous. And oh, look, we got a sticker pack too. Sweet. Look at this.
Whoa, look at those.
Now, you know, Fat Boys is in the tattoo scene.
Yeah.
They just kind of go with that. Look at that. We got some
glitter skulls.
Yeah.
King.
The crowned skull for Fat Boys. Nice. Like that.
There you go.
And the old school Fat Boy cigars. As well as the thin green line boots on the ground.
I saw those. They're selling a bunch of those.
So we'll have to get these on the Hereford War. You know what we should do? We should do a Fat Boy Cigars sticker pack giveaway. So we've got a thin green line, boots on the ground, Fat Boy Cigars logo, Fat Boy Cigars crown skull, and hologram Dia de los Muertos Fat Boy Cigar sticker. We're going to throw these 4 stickers in a giveaway pack, and we're going to select one lucky winner on the show. Here's what you got to do. Okay, you want the Fat Boy Cigar sticker pack. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to Instagram, and you have to share one post. Then jump on this YouTube video and comment sticker pack, and we will select one lucky winner for a Fat Boy Cigars sticker pack. Of course, you'll have to share mailing information, stuff like that, which is best done at burnlinepodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Once we select the winner.
When we select the winner, we will reach out to you and get you that. And of course, you can also jump on burnlinepodcast@gmail.com and let us know anything else, what you like, don't like about the show, what you want to see more of, less of me. I need to lose some weight. Thank you, Fat Boy Cigars. We really appreciate your support, and these are awesome. Can't wait to throw these stickers on my Herfador.
There you go.
And I'm just going to package these cigars back up so that they stay proper. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And we will smoke these on the show for sure. Yeah, so these are Candela wrapped. Makes sense with the thin green line thing. And they have gotten some rave reviews over these. Not Your Grandpappy's Candela. So
I want to try their, what's that thing that just came out?
Oh, the Twist and Shout?
The Twist and Shout, that cigar.
Yeah. I'll be interested to try that one as well. And that is like a fancy barber pole.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so thank you, Fat Boys. And we are smoking the Alec Bradley Puck Robusto.
Oh, lost my ash.
This, so maybe you're right about it going out faster. Yeah. This is a $4 Cuban sandwich. And really, I think what we're doing on the show, we've smoked a lot of expensive cigars.
Yeah.
But we also try to smoke everyday finds for folks. And that's kind of how we connected with Fat Boys, is they have like premium, basically, pretty close to luxury cigars for, $7, $8.
Yeah.
We love finding treasures like that. And so we're smoking the Puck at $4. Everybody listening to this show can every day smoke this. And I think our goal is to come away with, is it worth it for our listeners, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good amount of smoke. Not bad. Mine stayed lit through that.
It looks like a jack-o'-lantern, don't it?
Yeah, you got a little, it's not really tunneling, but Cuban sandwiches do that. The burn is always going to be inconsistent because it's not long leaf.
It's still great though.
Yeah, so probably the most famous Cuban sandwich that people might not be aware of is the papas fritas from Liga. That's why that, besides the small size, but that's why they're so much more affordable than the other Liga products, is they're using leftovers so they can keep the price down. And that's what Alec Bradley chose to do with this Puck as well. There is one flavor note that I don't care for in the cigar, and that is damp sawdust. So I suspect that, like a lot of Alec Bradley products, if I left this in my humidor for 6 months, it might smoke better.
Yeah.
I've had really good success with that. I had a Presnado. It was like a double Corona box pressed yesterday, and it had been in my humidor for a year, and it was fucking top notch.
Nice.
Had another good experience with the Magic Toast, aging it in my humidor.
Okay.
A lot of the time with Alec Bradley products right out of the box, I just don't think they're aged enough to really get the best taste out of them. What I'm tasting, the damp sawdust taste just comes along with not a lot of aging. I don't think it's related to construction at all. So that element sort of definitely, I think, to me, gives away like the cheap cigar thing, right? Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with it staying lit.
I like this wrapper. Like as it heats up, it gets a little darker and oily.
Yeah, it's like excreting oil.
Yeah.
As it heats up.
Not a whole lot of tar. I'm not getting any tar buildup. I'm not sure if they're in the same situation right now.
Yep, zero tar, which is awesome. But you can see, like, we're always going to have a small tunnel somewhere.
Yeah,
that's just part of the construction.
Not a big deal
in this method. The band is really cool. It's just sharp looking. That like matte ivory behind the gold is really cool looking. I don't know what it costs to produce a cigar band like this, but
this one doesn't look cheap because
it doesn't. No,
it's definitely
kind of cool.
It's a lot of work to put on a die for it to be like a cheap cigar.
Well, the actual material. So if you look at the non-gold part, that like it's almost translucent, soft gray color.
Yeah,
is very high quality paper.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the band off.
Yeah, let's see if let's do the band test. Does it come off without fucking up the?
Yeah, look at that. How come they did that? Well, this is fruit pectin, okay?
Yep, I see that.
Why couldn't they fucking do that with their more premium cigar? Like, what the hell?
I don't know, but that came out perfectly.
So, also because I wanted to take it off just because we were talking about the band, but it's good paper quality too. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not, I've had cheaper, paper on the band, but this isn't.
No, this is a premium cigar band. It's 3-dimensional pressed. It has the gold leaf.
Yeah.
Now, puck. For those of you that don't know, puck is a small rubber black disc that they play hockey with. Originally, they played with a vulcanized rubber ball, and it kept bouncing around. And somebody got so frustrated, they took out their jackknife and cut both ends off it. And that was the first puck. That is not what this cigar is named after. Not a hockey cigar. Puck is also the fairy that inhabits Pook's Hill in A Midsummer Night's Dream, as well as Puck of Pook's Hill. Who wrote that? Was that
I have
Rudyard
no idea.
Kipling? I don't know.
I don't know.
Some dead guy.
Some dead guy.
Anyway, Puck is like the playful summer spirit thing. I think it's from Greek or Roman mythology. Likes to party. Gets a bunch of those dryads and naiads and nomads and whatever the hell from the I don't know, it's been a long time since I studied Greek mythology, but anyway, but he's like definitely playful and a little dangerous.
Okay.
So interesting choice of name. I'm assuming that's what it's named after.
Oh.
I mean, it could be named after a hockey puck.
That'd be funny. I don't really know anything in the industry that's called a puck either. Like,
No, definitely not. There's not any hint of dragon about the name whatsoever.
More on that later.
All right, so I am getting a harshness on the back of my palate, like the top of my throat.
A little
How about
bitter?
you? No, not bitter, just harshness.
Harshness.
Yeah. Usually associated with it burning a little hot.
No, I'm getting more of that raisin flavor though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe that's what you're getting?
Mm-mm.
Like a roasted raisin?
It's not a flavor. It's just the smoke itself. It's a little abrasive. Well, so far I would say for a $4 stick, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
We're definitely picking it apart because that's what we do on the show, as a service to our listeners. I don't think you could beat this stick at the price point right now. But definitely not smoking the same as a, $11.50 Placencia that we have out there on the show. But you can buy 3 of these for the same price.
So I want to say this is a mid body. I don't feel any strength out of it.
No, it has a surprisingly robust, almost full body, but low strength.
Right.
I think it would come across as mid to most people. So it's similar to me, it's really similar to maybe alcohol. You could say wine, but maybe alcohol is a better comparison where, you can get your standard 80 proof off the shelf and it can have really complex flavors, but it's 80 proof.
Okay.
Or you can get like a cask strength 110 proof. It's much stronger, but sometimes, it doesn't have more flavor. Usually cask strength does, but so I like to distinguish between like body and strength when I'm talking about cigars because it's so easy to confuse the two.
Yeah.
Especially if you smoke, like classic Cubans where they're just so light on the palate and, aromatic and floral.
Yeah.
And they feel medium bodied, like even light. And then 2 minutes in, something punches you in the back of the skull, and you're like, "Oh shit, this is a really strong cigar." Well, how do you capture that? Like, if you're going to call it a mid-bodied cigar, Well, the body is, but the strength is not. And so here at Burnline, we like to separate the two to sort of help our listeners. You can see this little hole in the wrappers starting to bubble up around it, excrete some oil. Not the end of the world, but not ideal.
My box press, I got a little bit of box press still left in there. Starting to round out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So far, man, this is pretty good for $4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Alec Bradley to put out anything that was, crappy. I will say that Bradley's definitely one of those manufacturers where my palate just is different. There's some where I think my palate aligns really closely. So I can't remember an AJ Fernandez cigar where I was like, oh, I don't like that flavor mix. Same thing with Fuente. Well, the Cañones was not very good. I didn't like that.
Really? Oh man, I like that stick.
I just didn't.
Was it too big?
I think it was. I think it wasn't really the flavor that I remember so much as just the size. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what, an 8, 9?
Yeah.
Something like that.
By what?
48. It's definitely not like 50 or 52. It's not that big.
It's like a long, skinny.
Lancero.
It's not a Lancero. It's like a double Lonsdale.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, yeah, no, it's not a Lancero. I'm just saying, it's just.
Yeah, but it is long and
Lancero scaled up just a hair.
It's like if you took two. It's not even double Corona. It's like an extended Lonsdale. So it's not. Where I was going with that is it's not always fair because there are some blenders, that people don't like the flavor palette of the blender doesn't match the palette of the smoker, and so you're never going to like that brand. Bradley's in that camp for me. Like, I just have a different palette from whoever's doing the blending. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about flavor and stuff like that. Another good example, I think, is DBL, where I like pretty much all the DBL sticks, but I know plenty of guys that are like, it's just not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, like
that's what
it's your palate.
That's what this hobby is.
Yeah. If you don't like cinnamon, for example, you probably won't like. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like the damp and the harsh are not. They're just not ringing my bell on this one. I don't know. We'll save it to the end when we rank the cigar.
Okay.
Because it's really going to be a value proposition with this particular cigar, I think. All right. So why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we will do the tobacconist tip of the week.
All right.
And now your tobacconist tip of the week with Angel Solorio.
All right, so tobacconist tip of the week. So this is a tip I think it should go without saying, but
it has to be said.
Lounge etiquette. Rule number 1: don't be a dick. So golden rule pretty much applies as it does everywhere. But you just got to remember, man, the lounge, it's not just for you. You're not the only one enjoying it.
Not the only one paying for it.
Not the only one paying for it, correct? Yeah. Whether you have a membership or not, everybody has the exact same rights as you do to that lounge. The only thing that separates you from a non-membership person is maybe some extended, features like 24-hour access. That's what you're allowed to as a non-member, or if they have like a private access area only. But as far as like the shared lounge, it's like you don't have a claim to the remote, you don't have a claim to a seat.
Right.
So it's like that's it's a common area. So be mindful, be respectful of your fellow smokers.
Yeah, don't be a selfish hog.
Yeah.
So I tell folks this, like at work, everything you need to be successful, you learned on Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers.
Correct.
And it's supposed to be funny. Like I say it to be funny, but it's just true.
It really is.
The basics of being polite and thoughtful of others, extends to everywhere. And, don't get too big for your fucking britches. Like, oh, I'm a member. Oh, I spent so many thousands of dollars here this year. So what? That doesn't give you the right to ruin somebody else's experience at the lounge by, oh, that's my seat. Oh, change the channel. Where's the remote? That's my TV remote.
Or I don't like this music, change it. Or
I always come in at this time.
Programming. The only thing, there's only two things where it's like, I would agree to. It's like, if you have offensive music or like offensive viewing, like, some.
Sure, yeah. Well, like here at Union Cigar, we have everything on the TV. We've got Paramount Plus, Apple TV, Netflix.
Yeah, pretty much every streaming
YouTube
service.
TV. Yeah, pretty much every streaming service. And so if there's one guy in there and he's watching like, I don't know, Basic Instinct or something, and somebody comes in and they're like, hey, that's kind of offensive.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But if you're the lounge patron and you find something offensive, the thing to do is to go to the manager, say, hey, do you think we could change the channel? I'm uncomfortable with Sharon Stone showing off her crotch to everybody, or something like that. But you're right. Just stop being a selfish dick. Don't be a hog.
Right.
Share with other people.
You don't own the lounge.
Yeah. And we're supposed to be here enjoying craftsmanship that took years to put together.
Right.
We come here to relax and, experience a little bit of luxury in our life, get away from the grind.
And one of the biggest things, not only are you doing a disservice to the fellow lounge user, but you're also hurting the establishment itself, because you now have turned away a potential customer, you're off-putting and people are like, I'm not coming here because of that person's here. So you're also hurting your local lounge. It's like, now they start losing income and it's your fault and they close up and then you bitch. Well,
Well, I was talking to Tim the other day and he was like, I haven't been to this certain lounge because there's this collection of people and their particular behaviors that he finds offensive are being dumbasses and being highly politically partisan, right? So, again, read the room, be socially graceful.
Yeah.
If you're in there with a bunch of guys and you're all Trump heads or something, then fucking talk about politics if you want to. But the old advice of no politics, no religion, and be really fucking careful with sports, it just holds through. Like, you're trying to basically get together in a room full of strangers and all enjoy something together. You can't do that if you're, very strongly voicing your opinions about fill in the blank.
Yeah, which you're going to encounter that anyway in a lounge. Most of the people that are in lounges are like-minded people, but that doesn't mean every single person's like-minded. So it's like, you have to be respectful. I've ran into that before, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk about what I like or my views. I was like,
well, like we've got that one guy we know that always trashes the Ravens and especially their quarterback,
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. Well, luckily he's not a lounge goer, but
he's not a lounge goer. But it's an example of like,
and that guy cannot read the room.
He cannot read the room. No.
And it doesn't matter which political view you are. He's
contrarian.
Yeah.
But good example of like, we're really close to Baltimore. There's a lot of Ravens fans. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Right.
Kind of thing.
It's like, insulting somebody's NFL team is almost like insulting.
That's what I'm saying.
Their religion.
No religion or politics, and be really fucking careful with sports.
Right. Definitely don't do that in the Baltimore lounge.
Yeah, and if our overseas listeners, apply this to soccer or football,
Oh,
definitely be super fucking careful.
Right.
About that.
Don't be in Manchester and then be
Millwall forever.
And then be like, Chelsea's way better. And then it's like, well, you know what's funny? People always say, oh, those English are so well mannered. I was like, well, have you met a football hooligan? You're gonna get your ass beat. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Oh man.
So it's like they're like, oh, NFL fans are, so uneducated and unclassy. He's like, well, have you met a hooligan?
Boys will be boys, I suppose. Yeah. Great tobacconist tip of the week. Just a reminder, and you know what? It applies to everything. Part of what we do with cigar smoking is I'm going to take time out of my day to enjoy a luxury experience and be fucking polite.
Yep.
You don't have to save that for the lounge, but if you do save it for something, save it for the lounge.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not your living room.
Correct. All right. So jumping back into the cigar, we are smoking the Puck by Alec Bradley, robusto. This cigar is a Cuban sandwich, which is one reason they're able to retail for $4 a stick here at Union Cigar Hanover. It has a Maduro Honduran Habano wrapper, and the binder and filler is undisclosed, mostly because with a Cuban sandwich, they don't really know what's in it.
Yeah.
They do say they're Habano leaves. So have you had any flavor changes, or what's going on with you?
Not really. No. Still raisin. A little bit of not the flavored sweet, but I can smell a sweet.
Yeah, I agree. There's almost a dried fruit sweet flavor.
Yeah.
But it's only in the smell.
Yeah.
You can't taste it.
You can't.
Very interesting.
So I always like to mention this in cigars. It's like, this is not an offensive stick for the person not smoking it. I like that. That also is starting to come a lot into my play in selecting cigars. Is like, do I remember how stinky the cigar is or not?
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, the secondhand experience is totally different. Yeah, I think, what are some really offensive to secondhand smokers? Probably Padron, I think.
Padron, yeah. We're not talking, and this is not talking shit of Padron. It's just a strong cigar. Very, very robust flavor. Like I said, it's like kind of like an acquired taste, the Padron is.
Yeah.
It's definitely for the more experienced cigar smoker, but it is a stinky cigar because of how strong it is.
Yeah, and it sticks in your clothes. That's like a get undressed in the garage when you get home.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Some of the... hold on. Had a brain fart. The Blanco's kind of like that.
Oh, yeah. The BG Reserve, I think, was the one that, we smoked that on the show.
That's a strong one.
Yeah. And delicious cigar. It scored really high, too, although we smoked the Figurado. I think it was a Bellicoso.
Yep.
And, so the price point was higher. But yeah, it definitely sticks to the clothes and stuff. I don't think this will do that. It's just mild.
It's very light. It's mild. I mean, for being a dark wrapper, I'm very surprised in how mild of a stick this is.
Definitely doesn't have like your typical Maduro notes of like cocoa or chocolate or anything like that. There is definitely a dried currant or raisin component to it at this point. I didn't have that on the first third, I don't think. It's not really on the palate though. It's the smell.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
yeah,
it's strange that you can smell it but you can't taste it.
Yeah.
So that is a very interesting thing about this cigar.
I do have harsh on the back of my throat, and that's the from the smoke. It's not a flavor or a taste. It's just a harsh, abrasive smoke, and I do have that damp wood chips smell in there, which...
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
Well, I really wonder about the consistency on these, though.
But that's what I was saying.
Like,
it's
like you can even get, like, how do you get a Cuban sandwich consistent?
Right.
Like, the Papas Fritas is very consistent because it's old, like Liga number 9 shavings or whatever.
Yeah. So like when you open a box and you're like an unexperienced smoker, you're like, why is there 2 different cigars in here? It's not 2 different cigars. It's just the wrappers are,
Yeah.
noticeably
different.
Right.
On this one.
Like these 2 are pretty similar, but there's a lighter shaded one. Like, what would you say?
Mauve.
You're almost like a, oh, is that a Corojo?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I picked these 2 out of the box because they match for the show.
Right.
Like for aesthetics.
Because I'm sure if one of us smoked that one, we'd probably get something slightly different.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, especially since so much flavor comes from the wrapper.
Yeah.
That was that little weird thing. It almost looked like a, I don't know, like a fungus on the leaf. Like I'm sure it wasn't. But it was
cool. My cigar just popped, like a little spark pop. That's different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you got some kind of imperfection in there. It might be
a bug.
Might be a bug. Usually it is.
Yeah. Kill the beetles.
Yeah, tobacco beetle will pop like that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is very unavoidable. I mean, when you're talking about not microscopic, but very tiny organisms, and they're going to try their best not to have infested plants, but it's like
they come through from time to time.
Yeah. And we're also talking about an organic raised vegetation.
Well, that's one of the best parts about premium cigars is they take a fucking leaf, they grow it, they dry it, they cure it, they roll it up, and you smoke it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can you imagine if they use insecticides like they do with
yeah,
with cigarette tobacco? God, this would taste like ass.
Yeah.
Probably die like half an inch in.
You mean like cigarette smokers?
Yeah. That filter does nothing.
Yeah. All right. We are more than halfway through, and I think it is time for a break. And when we come back, we will do our tobacco news of the week.
All right.
Your cigar news of the week. Angel Solorio.
All right, here we go. News of the week. So we all smoked the M81.
Yep.
I didn't smoke it on the show, but you and Nick did. But Drew Estate is now announcing its second, what would you call it, iteration of the M81. So it'll be shade to black S84. So it'll be the S84 blackened.
And what's different?
So they are going to be using this might actually be interesting, an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed wrapper over a Connecticut broadleaf binder and Pennsylvania broadleaf and Nicaraguan Maduro fillers.
Which that is the same binder and filler as the M81. Is that correct?
I believe so. It's just the wrapper different. Maybe it might taste better this time around.
I don't know. That's a really interesting wrapper, though.
Yeah.
It'll definitely, because the original one, all the tobacco in it tasted the same all the way through.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty strong. I think I threw up after that one.
And then Rojas is celebrating its 10th anniversary with a limited edition cigar. So the Rojas 10th anniversary is going to be using a 6x50 Toro that uses an Ecuadorian Habano Maduro wrapper from Oliva Tobacco and fillers grown by Rojas in 3 different regions of Nicaragua. So a little bit, that's the details they gave. So I'm interested to see what that will be like. So an Oliva wrapper and then Rojas filler cigars.
Interesting.
That's going to be one hell of a collab because Rojas, man, the street tapas are dope.
Dude, Rojas makes good cigars.
Okay.
Speaking of aligned palates.
Yeah. So, I like that. I want to see more collabs.
Yeah.
I know AJ does some badass shit. Tatuaje and My Father, they do that. And then
I feel like AJ kind of broke the mold on that, because there was so much like almost secrecy in the industry.
Yeah, not a lot of sharing and whatnot, but it's
Yeah.
like once they did that, it's like, no, you guys should do it. It's badass. I mean, sure, you're competitors, but there's nothing that says you guys can't do something cool together.
And isn't there another dragon cigar?
I'll get to that one here in a minute, but Mike Tyson is teaming up with Gurkha to make the Tyson 2.0 undisputed.
So I'll probably get that for my collector box to
Right.
put next to my Rocky Patel Ray Lewis cigar and my Donald Trump cigar, and just the funky branding cigar section of my collection. But God damn it, Tyson!
I know, like
you couldn't have gotten somebody else to make that for
right.
you.
I mean, it sounds like a decent cigar. A Maduro. It's going to be a Maduro Mexican San Andres wrapper, Cameroon binder, and filler of T13 Corojo and broadleaf tobaccos. So it doesn't say where they're coming from, but I'm only interested to see what's going to happen because didn't Gurkha just announce a shortage in tobacco last year or last month? I mean,
yeah. The T13 Corojo is not my favorite hybrid though.
So we will see. All right, our dragon is coming up. So from
El Septimo.
El Septimo, Vartan the Dragon debuts.
So it's named after Vartan. And it's just the dragon, which is really, to me, that's really interesting. It's red and gold, like every other fucking year of the dragon cigar, but they just went with the dragon. And now I wonder what Gurkha's going to do because they have a year of the dragon and a dragon, and they sued Davidoff over Year of the Dragon. It's like, fuck, like, where did the lawsuits end?
So this one's all you because this is based out of your culture.
Yeah, you can tell by the last name.
Yeah. So it's the ancient Armenian general Vartan. This one's you.
Oh, you want me to read it? Yeah.
I can't pronounce that.
Mamikonian.
Okay. So like you said, 3 syllables, right?
Yep, as well as Vartan Safarian, owner of Ambassador Fine Cigars in Phoenix. So Vartan is a kind of a famous first name, Armenian first name, mostly because of the general. So it's kind of like being named, I don't know, like William, like William Wallace or something.
What era is he from?
I want to say 1200s.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I might be remembering wrong. There's a lot of Vartans.
Yeah, right. But ancient general, pretty much. Surprised I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, the Armenians were very fierce pagans that gave Rome a lot of grief. So Rome finally conquered them. And then the first Christian nation, in fact, when they had the Council of Constantinople, where they all decided on the Pope, the Armenians just walked out. They're like, no, your theology is fucked up and we don't care about this guy from Rome. So we were there first. Ethiopians kind of took the same path as well.
Yeah.
Like, no, you guys are newcomers. So interesting. I'll probably pick one of those up for my collection.
Why not?
Too.
Like it's different. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. It's 10 cigars, so I'd imagine it's not cheap. I would say probably $40 a stick, maybe.
Yeah, El Septimos are typically in that range. I mean, they can get higher.
Right.
They don't really get less, maybe in the 20s.
Yeah, they didn't really disclose the price, so and the box is gorgeous as shit though.
Oh yeah. I kind of want to buy a box of that just for.
By the way, is that a surname shield by any chance?
No, it looks like it's just a stylized dragon.
Gotcha. Oh, actually, here. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely Johnny Midas price. I found it. $98 a piece.
Golly!
So coming in at $7.84 a box.
Do you know how much gold I can buy for $100? Like a tenth of a gram.
Yeah. Oh man. So that
enough to refresh the gold plating on my.
Crazy pricey now.
Yeah, not surprised.
All right.
I don't know if I'll get a whole box.
Maybe definitely a stick for yourself for your collection.
Yeah.
Just to be like, this is
That's a single stick collector.
And that's crazy though. How much your heritage is actually involved in the cigar making.
And a lot of stuff. Like people don't talk about Armenian heritage the way they do like Jewish heritage or something.
Right.
But the influence on mercantilism that Armenians have had is huge. And then with the diaspora in World War One,
you guys were oppressed in 2 wars, but nobody talked about it.
Well,
nothing happened. You guys were just chilling the whole time, according to a certain country.
Yeah. So during the genocide,
what genocide?
We went everywhere, and a lot came to the U.S.
Right.
Like a lot of the import-export business in California.
Yeah.
Quite a big influence on business.
Yeah.
Like mercantilism, and that's what Armenia was always famous for, because it's so centrally located.
That's a Middle East thing, man. It's just people from the Middle East are just really good business owners.
So Armenia is not Middle East.
But I'm just saying in general.
The Caucasian mountains, the mountains of Caucasus go through Armenia. Yeah. So we're like the original Caucasians. So just so everyone's clear on
you guys are white skinned.
It's Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turkey's not Eastern Europe.
That's where the line is. The line is literally.
Listen, I don't care that they're in the EU.
Yeah, exactly. European Union, bitch. No, but you're not wrong. But because of where they were located, they were basically facilitating trade between the Mediterranean and Asia and Europe. So anyway, cool cigar.
And then one last piece to end it lightly. Florida, the bill to ban public smoking in state-owned parks and recreation areas. So like state parks and regular parks, it kind of died. So that's kind of a good thing, but at the same time, I can see why they were doing it.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that we talk about like political news around our hobby on the show is we really want people to get involved. Your voices need to be heard, and it's not fair that states all over the country are essentially making it easier and easier to smoke marijuana, but you're not allowed to smoke a cigar all of a sudden. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's weird. It is weird. But
stop regulating our vices. I mean, no one ever got high off of a cigar and went out and did something stupid,
Maybe.
Like, no. So stop picking on us.
Yeah.
We're not all chugging at packs a day, getting lung cancer, and we smoke about as frequently as a marijuana smoker.
Right. Speaking of political stuff, though, support as a smoker and listener, support the CAA, Cigar Association of America.
Yes, they're doing great work.
They are really, dude. You want to talk about a group that is behind, a hobby? They do some fucking work. Like, they're on the ground doing it, man. Mm-hmm. They've saved the cigar industry so many times.
Yes, Cigar Association of America, CAA. Google them. If you ever wanted to use your money for something awesome, that's the group. So good call out. All right, I think it is time to rank this Puck by Alec Bradley. Again, this is a robusto, and it retails for $4 here at Union Cigar Hanover. It is a box-pressed Cuban sandwich, and now that I'm in the final third, there's basically no box press left. It's all expanded. Honduran Habano wrapper with undisclosed binder and filler. They are described as Habano. And let's go ahead and get this ranked, and we'll start with presentation. I think the presentation of the stick itself is inconsistent. I think the cello wrap is the cheapest cello you can get with no barcode for the retailer. I think that detracts, and I think the band is absolutely gorgeous and came out easily. The box itself, I mean, honestly, this isn't that much different from like a Fuente box.
No.
It's not a bad presentation. I don't like the huge Surgeon General's warning, but when you flip the top open, in the retail shop, you can see what you're getting. I do like that the Alec Bradley is muted.
Yeah.
It's really presented as a puck, and then you have to look a little closer. And so they kind of tried to separate the branding, from their main product lines, I think.
Yep.
Which is a good thing to do for a budget stick like this. So what's your score on presentation?
So I'm going to give it a 7.
7?
So not because it's a terrible presentation, but only because of inconsistencies. But that's because it's a budget cigar. The band and the box are awesome. So it doesn't really look like a budget cigar. but you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah, I had a 6 for presentation. The box is fine, nothing special. There's no listing of the size. It just says robusto. There's no story or anything. There's nothing about why they named it puck. They could have done a lot more for not much price on the presentation.
Yeah.
The band is absolutely gorgeous, and if you were just smoking this cigar with no context, somebody else might look at it and be like, "Hey, that's a cool looking cigar."
Yeah.
So definitely not a bad presentation, but also nothing to write home about.
Right.
I can find all kinds of sticks on the shelf with at least as good of presentation there. And then price at $4. So, when we do price, it's really a value.
Yeah.
Right. I think which one did we smoke? The Cosecha 151?
Yeah, that was what, $11?
11.25.
11 something. Yeah, 11.75.
Yeah. And it got pretty good marks because it was a good value.
Yeah.
For what you were getting, even though it cost 3 times this cigar. Right? So at $4 a stick, what are your thoughts on the price?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I mean, it's like I said, the price is good for a value stick. The construction isn't too terrible, so that's what the price goes into for me right now. That's why I gave it an 8. And then the flavoring as well. I mean, for $4,
yeah,
whether you liked it or not,
yeah, I actually gave it a 9 on price. I was thinking back to our cheap cigar gauntlet, which I still regret making that choice. So we smoked, I think it was 5 cigars, and that's back when Keith was the co-host. And I was thinking back, like, which cigar would I smoke instead of this one, right? Well, the Diesel Unholy Cocktail maybe, but it was more expensive.
Yeah.
The Blanco Primos, that was also $4, I think. That was probably, I would pick that one ahead of it. And that was it. So really, I think, at $4, there's just nothing out there that really compares with it. So I was comfortable scoring this pretty high in the price range. And then how about construction? So we noted some inconsistencies. I know that, part of that is like, you just can't help it with a Cuban sandwich.
Right.
The wrapper colors, I'm going to chalk that up to price control.
Right.
I had a cap leaf that I had to tear off, and I had this weird little smotch on my wrapper. I don't think it affected anything.
No. I want to give it a 9. I haven't had any issues with this whatsoever.
Except for that bug.
That bug, maybe. The burn line's pretty good. The ash is good. I haven't had anything else, like construction-wise. The cap didn't come off for me.
I had some pretty consistent, you can see it right now, some pretty consistent short tunneling.
Yeah.
It never really affected the smoke, and I think it's related to the construction style.
Yeah.
I think 7 is a pretty fair rating for me on construction. Let's see. And then flavor. So I feel like my assessment of flavor is definitely relativized to the price point.
Yeah.
Right. So when I compare this to like a Havana Q or something like this, like it's in a totally different league.
It's definitely better than a Havana Q.
Yeah, like this is in the same range as like regular long filler cigars you'd pick up.
Because Havana Q, as an experienced smoker, you definitely know, hey, this is a cheap cigar. Because I've had Havana Qs are super inconsistent. Like I've had
and they're just dull.
Right.
They just taste like cardboard.
They're just like, hey, I need to smoke.
So
because I need to smoke.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts on flavor. It didn't really change much.
No.
It was surprisingly more complex than I thought it would be, but it's still on the lower end for like a premium hand-rolled cigar in terms of flavor. It was definitely mid-bodied.
Yeah.
Mid to light strength. And I did get 2 issues with the flavor. One, I got this harsh abrasive thing with the smoke on the back of my palate. And 2, I just don't like the damp wood chips taste.
Yeah.
Which I got pretty consistently. It kind of seemed like it burned off by the last third. So not smooth, harsh. And damp wood chips is typically associated with tobacco that's not aged properly. I have a 5 for flavor. I mean, it's like right in the middle.
Yeah. I was going to give it a 7.
Yeah, I think somewhere in that range is pretty fair. Any other thoughts on flavor?
No, pretty much nailed it.
And then experience.
Definitely an 8. I had no issues. I didn't have to really relight. You did, but that's because you were talking, and it's like short fill and whatever. So I expected that anyway, to have to relight. But so it was consistent. It wasn't terrible. You can do whatever you want with this stick, literally.
So I had a 3 for experience.
He's like, I'm going that low.
Yeah, lowest I've ranked any cigar in any category ever. And the reason is pretty simple, which is I wouldn't pick it up again.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but when I pick up a cigar, I want to feel something. I didn't with this. It's that simple. Like,
oh yeah.
I had some relights. A lot of that's just because it's a podcast, but
yeah,
I think the harshness of the smoke on the back of my throat was probably what really put it over the edge to I just wasn't feeling it, man.
Yeah, this is not a super memorable cigar, but then again, like it's a budget stick. It's not.
I think for folks that are looking for a $4 cigar they can smoke every day, this fucking rings the bell.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely.
If you want a very inexpensive, but I'm just over here like, dude, I'll pay $7 for a Fat Boy stick, and just fucking eat that up, and that's a luxury that I have. I understand. Like I'm not trying to assume that everybody that's listening to this show can pay $7 a day to support their habit. I can, right? And so that's probably why my experience meter is low.
Okay.
But to be fair to the stick and the audience, man, if you're looking for that $4 daily stick, I can't think of anything that beats it on the shelf right now. So overall, I would say that Alec Bradley pretty much hit a home run. The total score is 35, which is pretty good, mid-30s.
Yeah, for a budget stick.
For a $4 stick, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think my final thoughts on the cigar are, man, if you're looking for that $4 stick, like I know so many guys that they have their dailies and then they have their special Sunday cigar or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that, this might be where it's at for you. It definitely has the flavor and construction and everything where an experienced cigar smoker is not going to be like, man, fuck this, So it doesn't compare with a Fuente. Well, I don't expect it to. It costs half the price of the cheap ones.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Any further thoughts on the Puck by Alec Bradley?
No, I think you nailed it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us as always on Burnline Podcast. Don't forget to reach out on the socials. We are really picking up. We've got our YouTube channel. We have 500 views last time.
Nice.
We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and you can reach us, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com. If you go to any of our socials, we've got the link tree up there. You can click on that. To contact us. I'm putting together a list of our cigars.
Sweet.
That has like the rankings and price points, stuff like that. I'm going to try to make that available on the link tree for folks to help out your experience in this hobby. And if you would like to interact with the show, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com. We really encourage everybody to do that because we want this to be your show. Uncommon cigar knowledge for the common cigar smoker at Burnline Podcast. And that would help us help you out. Don't forget, we are giving away this sticker pack from Fat Boys Cigars, 4 gorgeous stickers that would look great on your Hereford door. And all you have to do is like and subscribe on the YouTube channel and share it with somebody. And then comment below this episode on YouTube stickers, and we will randomly select a winner and get with you about this free sticker pack. Thank you as always for joining us on Burnline Podcast. Have a great day.